guys, welcome to Fortified Krav Maga. Go ahead and come on in. My name's Layton Mortensen. I'm the owner and head instructor here at Fortified Krav Maga. We've been serving the Davis and Weber County area for about 7 years, and we teach self-defense to students of all ages, starting at age 5 all the way up to, I think my oldest student's in his 70s right now. Really our goal here is just to teach good, real practical self-defense to students of all ages. We've got military, law enforcement, and of course civilians who just want to learn how to protect themselves. So thanks for checking us out, and we're excited to show you more.
Hey guys, what's happening here?
Hey guys, Good morning. Just doing a little combo mitt work this morning, getting warmed up.
Looks intense. Love it.
Let's go combo 4.
2, 3, nice. 2.
Do that again.
Hey guys, what's happening?
Hey, what's up? We're just beating each other up.
So we do a crawl. Have some fun.
We're glad you made it.
Let's do that again. 3.
How are you today? Good. So is this what's the name of this place?
Fortified Krav Maga.
All right. All right, what do we got going on here?
Oh, hey, I'm Mark. I'm one of the instructors here at Fortified Krav Maga. This is our bags and weight station. We use the weights for our fitness class. We've got kick shields. We use those for our kicking drills. Our cage bags are to be used for fitness class too. They've got a little weight to them. They're a lot of fun. We also have our tombstone pads that we use. These are for kicking drills, hammer fists, elbows, all kinds of good fun stuff like that. But yeah, this is our fitness station, I guess you could call it.
Hey, why don't you let that guy have it? Oh man. Woo! All right. Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome.
This place is amazing.
Awesome, thank you. Layton again. This is kind of where we teach the classes from up here. We've got all our tie and teardrop bags. Striking is obviously a huge part of fighting self-defense, so we spend a lot of time working on that. One thing too that's really important to us is safety. So if you notice, the floors are matted out. We do allow shoes on the mats just to give ourselves that kind of realistic feel. But of course, we want to make sure it's a nice, open, clean space. You notice that there's nothing on the floor. Everything is off to the side. Like I said, safety is super important. That's kind of the whole point of self-defense, right? So if you get hurt in training, then you're not going to be able to come back and get better. So we just have a big focus on having a really nice, clean, open facility so we can make sure all of our students are staying safe while they train.
Excellent. Thanks for the information, Clayton. Hey, Clayton, are you going to be here through this whole thing?
Yep.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go along. Let's move along here. Check this out. Hello there.
Hey, how's it going?
So what do we have going on over here?
So this is kind of our focus mitts wall. We use different size mitts for different drills. This is used for a lot of striking, elbows. You can use knees as well. And then Deb has the larger ones, the Thai pads. Those are really good for like more powerful kicks, something that's got a little more pack to them. Just so that we're always safe when we're training, but we're getting that realistic training.
Excellent. Can you demonstrate a kick on that pad, how it works? Yeah.
What are we doing?
Want to do side kick?
Yep.
Come on, you can do more than that. Let's go. Let's do this.
Ready?
Yep.
Whoa. All right. So how long have you two been here? Give me your names.
So I'm Stephanie. I've been a student here for about 1.5 years now.
I'm Deb. I've been here a little over 1.5 years.
So, do you like it?
Love it.
Is it helping you?
Absolutely.
Are you happy?
Very happy. In fact, Krav Maga is so good for your mental health. That is like my biggest takeaway of it. No matter what you're feeling, when you walk in that door, you always feel better when you leave. You know, all your sadness, your anger, your intensity, all gets to be intensified and drawn out here, so you can leave a better person.
I like that. All right, thank you. All right, who do we have here?
All right, my name is Rich. I've been here I had to check with Dante, I've been here for 5 years, so quite a while. Over here we've got a couple different dummy versions for working ground. Sometimes we'll use it for just fitness, lifting up the dummies, running around, or doing ground and pound, or working other techniques.
Can you show me a technique on that real quick?
Sure, so on this guy, we can come into this position, do some ground and pound, come across to switch into a side control, come across, work on arm bars or arm locks. So a lot of different variations, and then we have the stand-up version for takedowns or other type of techniques.
Fantastic. So let me ask you, why are you an instructor here?
I really like just being able to empower people when they come in, they want to learn how to defend themselves or their family. So it's really fun to come and see people starting from the beginning and working their way up until they're really proficient, they can handle themselves. They come to sparring. It's just really fun to see that progression.
Excellent, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
We got all kinds of, look at this, you guys. I'm talking, we got weapons on the wall. What's this all about?
Hi, I'm Dante. I'm one of the instructors here, and this is our weapons wall. In the advanced classes, we teach a lot of weapon defenses from sidearm, long gun, knife, stick defense, and occasionally on the Halloween classes, we draw out the axes and have a little bit of fun with them.
That's awesome. And are you an instructor here?
I'm an instructor here. I started the same time Rich did, so I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you for showing us what you, oh, what's that? Is that a head down there?
It is. We'll use this. Some of the defenses and strikes that we use are headbutts. So we'll use this. In fact, if Rich wants to come over.
Wait, do that again. I love that. That's awesome. Man, does it have a name?
I like to call him Bob. It's Bob and Head. Yeah.
All right. All right, we got everybody here, and we are going to learn a little bit more about Fortified Krav Maga. Let me ask you guys this question. What is Fortified Krav Maga?
I think it's a community.
Okay.
Agreed. I mean, you can learn Krav Maga at a variety of places, but Fortified Krav Maga is a different kind of safe space. It's a different kind of community. It's supporting each other in the best ways. You learn mental strength and physical strength and these techniques that are potentially life-saving.
Okay, and I like what you said about a safe space. That's pretty important, I think. All right, what else we got? What is it?
Add to that a little bit, because not only is it a great place to work out and learn techniques that will potentially save your life, or at least allow you to go home safely, is the community part. I mean, we do a lot of things after hours together as friends. I mean, I've got great friends here. Some of my best friends I've gotten from this. So there's more to it than just a place to train.
Okay.
And I would also say, at least for me, Fortified Krav Maga is a place where you get out what you put into it. You can come and you can do it for fitness, to increase your strength or endurance. You can also come and have the mentality that you want to learn how to defend yourself or your family. But then there's people here that you can ask, you can role play scenarios with, you can try different things. I know I always go home and I think about different techniques, or is this gonna work, or is that gonna work? And then it's nice to come and kind of roll through some of those or try different things for those self-defense techniques.
Well, and I heard you mention earlier, before we started the video, that you had to go and burn off some some extra stuff that you had to just go and do some more
Right.
routines and whatnot.
Yeah. Sometimes after class, if I didn't just get it all out, I'll go upstairs or go home and finish it off on the bag. So, it's great. You just get to that point where you're like, I need to strike, I need to hit, and there's a great place to do it.
Excellent.
Well, Fortified Krav Maga to me, man, it's mental. I mean, I can come to class, and one of the greatest things I see is when you see these students that are maybe a little more timid, and then they come in, they feel the sense of community, and when they get a strike and they throw it and they feel that power, oh my gosh, that's like crack to me. I mean, I love that. And you watch them walk out the door and they're holding their head a little higher, they're happy. But for me personally, Fortified Krav Maga has helped with my depression, my anxiety. I mean, I can leave everything here and it's awesome. I mean, I'm a completely different person than I was 5 or 6 years ago.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you.
I was a lot chubbier too.
Man, well,
Wait, I heard that.
yeah, I mean, I think everybody, hit it pretty well. I love the community aspect that we have here. I love the training aspect. One thing I will just add on to that is that we do everything here. So prior to me doing Krav Maga, I was a Muay Thai competitor. I had a couple MMA fights. So I've had 22 years of various martial arts experience, everything from like karate, the traditional stuff, to, like I said, MMA, Muay Thai, to this. And one thing I really like about Krav Maga, specifically the way that we teach it here, every school is going to be different in how they approach it, but we get to grapple, we get to spar, we get to add weapons in, and then we get to do all that in the context of some real world scenarios like fighting in a hallway, fighting in a car, fighting on different terrains, that type of thing. So really you're getting kind of the whole package here, and we cut out stuff that just doesn't really make sense or isn't super practical, and then we add things in to replace it, or just try and keep it as straightforward as possible, but also make it a welcoming environment that anybody can learn from.
Excellent. Okay, guys, so I want to ask you this. What about stretching and warm-ups? How important is that? And I know it is. I mean, I'm asking an obvious question. However, for people that don't know what Fortified Krav Maga is, how important is the stretching and warm-ups and stuff before you start working out and doing those kinds of things?
Extremely important.
Extremely, yeah. I mean, we spend as instructors, we usually try and do a warm-up anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes long, just starting light with maybe a jog or some shoulder tag or something very light, and then start working up to where at least we're getting that blood flow into our muscles, so that we're not having some injuries, trying to avoid as best we can.
Okay.
When you watch students when they come in, some might be pretty stiff. One student in particular, he couldn't even do a squat at first, but he's a beast now. I mean, he's getting very fit. I like to always tell my student or ask him, is anybody comfortable? And if somebody raises their hand, then I just, we keep working out a little bit more.
Okay.
But that hadn't happened yet. But the fitness aspect is awesome, and you do see a change in people as far as flexibility. It's very important to avoid injuries.
Excellent.
I think it's also important for instructors, especially when we're doing the warm-up, because if we do have a lot of new students, we want to make sure that they're not pushing it beyond their capability. I mean, everyone has to start somewhere, so sometimes it can be easy to really ramp up and try and go all out on that warm-up. So for us, we want to make sure that we're watching out for that so that they don't overdo it on the warm-up and then they're hurt for the rest of the class.
Okay. Go ahead.
We also try and ask before the class if anyone does have any existing injuries, so that we know that if they have a leg injury or a shoulder, we can maybe modify an exercise or a technique for that individual.
Okay.
Absolutely. And one thing I like to tell them also is while they're going, to regulate the output so that, like Rich said, they don't gas out during the warm-up.
Okay. Yeah. I'm done. So as students, how important is it for you?
It's very important because I need the warm-up so I don't get injured.
How do you start with your warm-ups?
However, the Fortified Krav Maga instructors tell us to.
Oh, they tell you what's going on. I
They
see.
run the warm-up, so it can vary from just jogging around to
So
playing a game.
it sounds to me like you got to put a lot of trust in these instructors.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They're very humble, respectful. They really watch out for their students.
Now I have the all-important question: is that trust earned or given?
I would say it's earned.
Okay.
You know, walking in as a first-time student, I was a little skeptical of what I was walking into because I knew I wanted to do Krav Maga, but, you know, walking into Fortified, I had to check it out, I guess. And so from the first class, it was earned.
Okay, very
They
good.
earned my respect.
And what's your warm-up? Do you do what these guys say too? Or
Okay.
do you do your own thing?
No, everyone warms up together, and I think it's a really good way to kick off the class. That like there's loud music going. A lot of times there's like partner things, like a shoulder tag or some kind of striking drill, or just something to get everyone interacting, maybe laughing, maybe just getting that good blood flow to really get in the mindset of what you're about to do in class.
Okay, so you made a very good point, and that is that you guys warm up together, so it's a class type of a thing, and everybody's kind of following the same warm-up strategy. That's great, I think, for somebody that's new, Layton, and knowing that I don't have to come in here and try and figure out things on my own. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. Our instructors, guide you through every step of the way. Especially when there's new folks in class, we'll make sure that the warm-up is simple enough where anybody can do it. You're not going to be thrown into something that has skills that you don't necessarily know yet. And then really a lot of it, so of course the warm-up part and avoiding injury, but also kind of like what Stephanie talked about is just making it fun, right? Jogging in a circle for 10 minutes would warm you up, but it's not the most exciting thing in the world. So we'll try and add in different things. Dante does a great job with keeping the warm-ups really exciting. Every instructor kind of brings their own flair to it. And then also, when we can, those warm-ups also help you develop certain attributes. Like, so for example, jump rope, it's a warm-up, it gets your heart rate up and your blood flowing, but it also helps you work on your footwork by being able to move on the balls of your feet and timing and stuff like that. So we're accomplishing a lot of things with just the warm-up, and really anybody can do it. Like I said, we're there with you every step of the way, and you can scale it, right? If you can't jog, you can walk. Like any level of fitness can absolutely get through this.
Okay, this information you guys are giving us is gold. You have anything else to add, anybody?
One last thing is
Yes.
before we start class, before we start warm up, we bow in, and I tell my students every time, this is the switch that we're in training mode now.
Why is that important?
For me as a student, when I first started, that's how I got into my mindset, and honestly, that's what kept me coming, because I knew that once I bowed in, it's time to train. I mean, I do mess around sometimes, but I like to tell them, bow in is the switch on, bow out is the switch off, and we get down to work and business, and we have a lot of fun.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And if I can add something to that real fast, that's absolutely correct. Like, we are very informal here, right? So martial arts places are very formal and have all the ritual stuff. The only thing we do that is somewhat formal is the bow in and bow out. It's not respect for me or the instructors or anything like that. It's really just respect for what we do in here, because training to fight is inherently dangerous, right? And when you lose respect for something that's dangerous, that's when people start to get hurt. So like Mark said, just getting in that right mindset, like now it's training time. And then when we bow out at the end of the class, then same thing. Now we're done, we can move on. But it really is important to have that mindset shift, and even just that physical movement of bowing accomplishes that.
Excellent. And you have something you wanted to say?
Oh, yeah, so when you're a new student and you walk into Fortified, the warm-up is kind of an icebreaker, because depending on what the instructors have you do, we can play tag, we do like shoulder tag, and you're constantly switching partners, so everybody's like, hi, my name's so-and-so, what's your name? So you kind of get to know each other, and it makes people feel more comfortable to stand next to somebody and train.
Okay. Wow, this is gold, you guys. Really. All right. So tell me about class size. How important is it? What size? What's the class size? I'll start with you. Tell me why it's important to you, and what is a normal class size?
I'll let the instructors talk about normal class size because I know they get to a whole variety, but for me, I've had smaller classes, maybe in the summer where a lot of people are on vacation, to winter break when everyone's in town, and there's value in every size. When it's a smaller group, you get more instruction time with the instructor. When it's a bigger class, you get to know more people. You get to train with a variety of body sizes and heights, and there's so much value no matter what the class size is.
Wow. Anybody else?
Yeah, I would agree. It's this with Stephanie. The class size really depends on the time of year, breaks, the beginning of the year or the end of the year. But yeah, as far as the class size goes, if it's a smaller class, those are opportunities to really fine-tune some of the techniques or some of the skills. When it's a bigger class, yeah, you get to work with different size of people. I mean, I'm short, so I like to find someone that's tall because it changes the dynamic. So a lot of different advantages of various class sizes.
Excellent.
And depending upon the class size, like if I come and I've got a class plan and I end up with a smaller class, I may have to change the drill at the end because I like to do some drills at the end. So it's not a big deal, it just changes the dynamic of what I'm going to teach at the end as far as what real life technique I may throw at them.
Okay. All right.
The good thing about these guys, the instructors, Clayton, if we have a giant class, these guys are great staying with me. I'm lucky I teach Tuesday night, so that's right before the advanced class. So if I have a huge class, these guys will stay and help me because it's always important to have more than one instructor when you have a giant class. Because you want to give everybody in here as much attention as you can give them.
This sounds like the place to be. I mean, everything that you're telling me makes me want to join. And in fact, Nando and I were talking, and we thought, well, however this thing goes, we want to investigate a little bit more, and you're convincing me by the second, okay, everybody?
Can I just add one thing to that real
Sure.
fast? So just to give you an idea of what the actual class size is. So a small class is usually, like the smallest group we have is a 9 a.m. group, so it's kind of that off time for a lot of people. And that one's gonna be our smallest, around like 3 to 5 people is average. And then our evening classes, most of them are at 7 p.m. for the beginners. And that can be anywhere from like 12 to 20 people. I'd say 20 is gonna be on the upper end. Occasionally we'll get the 24-ish. So they're not like massive classes where there's 60 people crammed in here and you're not gonna have an instructor talking to you or giving you feedback. But that's about the range. And like everybody else mentioned, it depends on the time of year and that type of thing. But that's about where we're looking, 12 to 20-ish people.
Okay, excellent. So how much money is it going to cost me to invest in this? And I'm not talking about how much the gym membership costs, but we're talking about a tire. What kind of equipment do I need? Is it gonna cost me an arm and a leg to even come and be ready to rock and roll here? What do I need?
Absolutely not. It doesn't cost hardly anything. If you've got gym shoes, gym shorts, we've got a bunch of loaner gear right there, gloves and stuff that you can start with. The problem with that is when I came to Fortified Krav Maga, I bought a set of gloves and I was like, crap, I love these. Oh, look at these here. These are even more. And now I have really nice gear. But we do have loaner gear to get you started. You're not going to go away because you're going to feel the love here and you're going to buy gear, but it's not expensive at all.
Okay.
You can use what you wear to the gym, or honestly, you can come in jeans and a t-shirt. We've had people do that before.
Okay.
And the MMA gloves that we'd want you to have down the road, maybe anywhere from 25 to 50 bucks, like Mark said. Once you get into it, I did the same thing. I bought the cheapest set when I first started, and then I'm like, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna really buy some cool. I almost swore. Shit. And then as you progress, then as Clayton mentioned earlier, some of the classes we offer is sparring. And then as you progress, then you're gonna want shin guards, and you're gonna want boxing gloves, you're gonna want mouth guards, you're gonna want groin protection if you're a male. So it really depends on how much you want to put into it. But it's rather minor. Common gym clothes and some gloves.
Okay. Anybody else?
I will say, like, starting out, not knowing anyone here, not having any gear at all, when you go all in, like your kit comes with everything. It came with a mouth guard, it came with my MMA gloves, it came with a t-shirt, I love the swag. And so everything, like all the essentials were here. And then like Mark mentioned, there's always loaner stuff. So if you forgot something or if you didn't think you had time and all of a sudden like time allows and you catch a class but you don't have your gear bag, there's always something here. So you're never empty-handed. And then as you progress and as you build, you just get the cool swag on the way. So yeah, starting out, it's no big deal.
All right, cool. Okay, guys, well, I am almost done with my questions here. Let me ask you this, and I do want everybody's opinion on this. Let me thank you, sir. So I'll start with you, and tell me your name again.
Deb,
Thanks, Deb.
welcome.
I will ask you about a dozen more times, okay?
That's fine. I'm bad with names too. It's all good.
And now I just forgot the question. Who is Fortified Krav Maga for? What type of people? Who's it for?
Everyone.
Why do you say
Everyone.
that?
Just from my experience coming here, I've seen all walks of life come to the gym. So it's really for anyone who has a desire to learn something new and want to defend themselves. And it's, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a hard discipline, but it is something that you can value to obtain for yourself as far as self-defense goes.
Okay, thank you very much, Deb. Who's it for?
Fortified is for anyone looking for a community. It's for anyone who is willing to be humble and teachable. It's for someone who is aware they're going to be stepping outside their comfort zone, but they're going to get a lot of growth along the way and are just wanting to learn more skill, more confidence. You're going to get all of that here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just to add on to what Stephanie said, having a teachable attitude and, leaving your ego aside is super important, which we have a great community for that. If people aren't willing to learn and they do have these big inflated egos, either they get humbled really fast by somebody's right cross or they don't stick around, right? And it's not that we're trying to do that, but this is an environment where we are all here to help each other get better, right? And if somebody's not here to do that, then that's not necessarily a good fit. But other than that, like I said earlier, we teach ages 5 to up. I've got 70-year-old accountants to SWAT officers and bail enforcement agents and Navy SEALs and everything in between. But the thing that everybody has in common is just that teachable attitude and that ego-free personality.
Okay,
Well, Fortified Krav Maga it's for everybody, like everybody else has said. But it's for people that want to learn something new. Come in with an open mind and give us a try. I mean, you'll love the people here. There is zero attitude. I have been to a few different fight gyms before, and you walk in, you kind of feel like the piece of meat that's gonna get, made into jerky. But here, everybody is very inviting, and new students pick up on that right away, and their guard comes down, and they love what they learn. They love the workout at the end. I always like to tell them, you know what, you guys are gonna feel great after this. You're gonna work your guts out while you're here, but 10, 15 minutes after you catch your breath, you're gonna feel great.
okay.
Yeah, Fortified Krav Maga really, again, is for everyone. You've heard teachable quite a few times, and I would agree with that. You really want to be teachable, especially for men. I think we have this sense that we already know how to throw a punch or we know how to defend ourselves, and you come and you realize really quickly, I don't even know how to throw a punch correctly. And so those are the things that you want to have that open mind and learn how to do that. And again, it's not just for women feeling confident being able to walk down the street. It's the same thing for men, just knowing if anything happens, I at least have some tools and some skills to defend myself or my family. So I think that's really empowering.
Wow, very good.
Yeah, I'll touch on Clayton's or add to it. It's literally for all, young and old. male and female, and coming in with that open mind to learn. I had a background in different styles of karate, and it definitely is different. And so that's the unusual thing, is when people come in, they're like, well, this is how we used to do it. I'm like, I understand, but here we do it this way. We're not saying it's the best way or yours is the wrong way. It's just, this is how we do it here, so have an open mind and understand that a kick here may be differently taught than, say, in Kenpo or Shintoshi karate, or a little even Muay Thai a little bit too. But there are some similarities.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and this is kind of a crazy question, but so there's no weird shenanigans going on here, like with crystals and different things like that, right?
That's the after hours stuff Dante was talking about. Yeah.
Krav after hours.
Yeah, we do dance krav.
Okay, well, you guys, you have just been through the Fortified Krav Maga Circle of Knowledge. I'm just going to label that right now, the Circle of Knowledge. You guys have given us fantastic information. I came in here, and I told you guys this, because this is my first time in Fortified Krav Maga, and I came in here with, I don't know if I had expectations or not, like really, but I had, I was willing to listen and learn. And everything that you guys said to me is super encouraging for anybody. And I don't know anything about that fighting style, except I wanted to do it a long time ago. And there was never any resources, and now here we have Fortified Krav Maga, and I'm excited about it. So, guys, buckle up, because guess what we're going to do next? That's right, we're going to do some techniques here, and live techniques. So, let's get ready to roll.